What's up, guys? It's Kelly Scott, creator of The Driven Life and founder of the Fit Republic coaching team. So if you read my newsletter last week, I did a short little write-up on taking steps to create change. And I had 3 tips in there for you guys, and I told you that I'd create a video to talk a little bit more about these 3 steps that I wanted to dig a little bit deeper with you about creating change and taking that first step to step outside of your comfort zone to do something that you haven't done before. So it could be a weight loss or nutritional goal. It could be maybe, trying to spend more time with your family, work less, decrease stress. There's so much that you can work on changing in our life, but it takes just a few small steps to start the process of creating change. Now, I know that change can be uncomfortable. And I know that sometimes it's just easier to avoid it than to do the uncomfortable and the unknown. But take it from me, especially from someone who's gone through a lot of change in my life, and I've gotten outside of my comfort zone many of times when I've made these changes and been vulnerable. And that's when I've just noticed the best and biggest transformations in myself. And I want to help you guys take that first step towards making change. So this can be towards any goal that you have or any small change that you want in your life. You have to start small. So I always recommend that you take small action steps. Don't take one big step and then get scared and fail and then just give up. So for example, the easiest example that I can use all the time, because I help people with weight loss and nutrition, is if you have like a big goal when it comes to your health. If you focus on, okay, I want to lose 50 pounds, and you're focusing on that big action of losing 50 pounds, it's going to scare you and most likely stump you from moving forward. So what are some small action steps that you can take towards a goal like losing 50 pounds? Well, I would recommend focusing on 3 to 4 weeks of exercising. Maybe your goal is, okay, I'm going to exercise 3 days a week, and I'm going to eat better. I'm going to cut out processed foods, and I'm going to aim to lose 10 pounds in 4 weeks. Now you're focusing on a smaller step to reach towards that big goal. Those are small action steps. Maybe you want to decrease stress in your life. So what are some things that you can cut out of your day to decrease stress? Or what are some things that you can say no to? Rather than thinking about, oh my gosh, you have all this on your plate, how can you cut out 15 things? Maybe you think about, okay, this week I'm going to say no to 1 thing, and I'm going to focus on 1 to 2 projects a day, rather than focusing on 5 different things and saying yes to everything. Small steps towards your big goal. So that's the first step I want you guys to think about. What are some small action steps that you can take towards making that change that you want in your life? The second tip that I had for you guys, the second tip or step that I had for you guys, was check your ego. Now this can be a hard one. I know that I struggle with this a lot, but it's hard to fail which is part of the third step, but it's hard to get outside your comfort zone and do something that you aren't comfortable with. So sometimes you just have to check your ego, and it's okay to not know the answers. It's okay to just be like, well, let's see what's going to happen. I'm going to try this. I'm not quite sure of the outcome. That's okay. But you have to check your ego at the door and just go with it. Prime example is when I was learning online marketing. I did have the fear of learning the unknown, but I also thought as a new fitness instructor a few years ago that I knew what I wanted. I was like, I'm cool. I don't need to learn any more personal development. I know everything I need to do to train my clients and to teach classes. And I wasn't into learning how to become a better leader, a better communicator. And I really stopped my self-growth because I had this ego that I didn't need to know anymore. I didn't need to learn anymore. I had 2 different certifications. I graduated from college, and it was really my ego that was getting in the way. And when I let that go and stepped back and thought, there is something I can learn all the time to make myself better as a trainer, as a leader, as a wife, as a friend, whatever it is. And when I decided to accept the fact that it's okay to still learn and grow, check my ego at the door, the sky was the limit for me. I learned so much, and I continue to grow to this day. And that was a big learning curve for me when I was younger. I'd say like 10 years ago, that was really hard for me. So checking your ego, it's okay. It's okay to not know everything. So you have to, whatever that goal is that you're working towards, sometimes you have to step back and be like, okay, I'm going to be the student. I'm going to learn. I don't know everything. I got to check my ego. And the last step for creating change in your life is to fail correctly. I like to call it failing forward. I don't know if you guys have ever read the book by John C. Maxwell, Failing Forward. I was actually looking for it on my bookshelf because I want to show you guys it, and I can't find it. So I think I might have lent it out. I'm going to have to buy it again because it's one of my favorite books. And when I read that book, I learned that it's okay to fail. So you've probably heard this before, but the most successful people in this world are the ones that fail over and over and over again, and you learn from those mistakes. So failing correctly, that means you're working towards that fitness goal and you're still not sure really how to eat, and you kind of have to figure out your nutrition and how much protein and all these different components, and you can't quite get it right the first few weeks and you just kind of fail and you're like, oh, I'm still hungry, and then, oh, I'm not eating the right foods. Just keep failing over and over again until you learn exactly what your body needs to fuel itself to burn fat and to lose weight. You got to fail correctly. Learn from those mistakes. For me, one of the biggest one of the biggest failures for me was I launched one of my first programs online a few years ago, and I didn't take an online marketing course. I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do a fitness workout video, and I'm going to try to market it without knowing anything, without studying marketing or sales or anything. And I wasted hours of time. I recorded videos. I had my friends come out and do the videos with me. I had like these 5 videos, and I mean, then I was all excited. I released them and I sold barely anything to cover my cost. And rather than giving up and saying, okay, this online thing isn't for me, I said, okay, what could I have done better? Clearly, I need to learn marketing. I need to take a course. I'm in a course right now to learn online marketing. So I learned from that mistake, and I still have those videos that I can reuse for the past, for the future. But, I did them in the past, but I learned from my past mistakes, and I can still use the content that I created, but I'm not going to just, give up with my online marketing, because that very first time I did it I failed miserably. So fail correctly, learn from your mistakes, whatever that is. I'm just giving you guys a few examples because this can relate to anything, any of your goals that you have. So let's review. Step number 1, take small action steps when you're working towards change. Number 2, check your ego. And number 3, fail correctly. So I hope you guys thought about this last week in my newsletter last week, and you guys kind of thought about, like, what is something that I want to work on and change, and how can I make these changes? So I asked you guys to write down 1 to 2 things that you want to change and why you want to change them. So journal about that a little bit more, think about it, and then how are you going to take these 3 steps and apply it towards the 1 to 2 things that you want to change in your life? I would love to hear from you guys, and I'd love to hear how you're doing. So feel free to send me a message. You can respond to my email. You guys have my email address. I would love to learn how you are working towards that change in your life. If you guys would like to work with me a little bit further, I'm actually going to be starting a 5-day, it's called the 5-day Restore Your Balance program. Sorry, I'm stumbling on the name because I'm still working on it. I think I'm going to call it the 5-day to restore balance. And it's going to be a 5-day online program, and we're going to be working on restoring balance in your life. So I want you guys to click on the link below if you're interested in learning more about this 5-day program. It is free, and it's going to be starting the beginning of every month. So right now I'm recording this video on March 25th. And so the program starts on April 2nd. So that's going to be the one that I'm going to be doing the first week of April. I plan on doing them at the beginning of every month, but I still have spots available. So we're going to be working on restoring balance, decreasing stress and overwhelm. And it's just a 5-day jumpstart course. So that's a prime example of step number 1, taking a small action steps towards reaching your bigger goal would be to sign up with something like a 5-day free program where you can learn small action steps and get guidance and support that you need to create better balance in your life. So if you guys would like to learn more information on that, click on the link below and you can learn more about it and hopefully reserve your spot. But in any case, I hope this video helped you guys think about those 3 action steps that I want you to take to create change and start moving closer towards your goals and living happier and healthier.